What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Mevo Live. My name is Will Kirkpatrick, and I'm a senior technical specialist here at Mevo. I'm joined today with Joseph. Here we go. We've got our chat going live as well.
Hey everyone, how are you?
All right, so today we're doing another one of those spinning the wheel for all of you who want a free Mevo. Be sure to chat as much as you can and send us all the questions that you can, and then you will qualify for a free Mevo. And so we'll do that a little bit later in the show. We are live right now on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, so be sure to put all of your questions in chat. You can see we've got that visible on the screen. So let's talk a bit about our setups today. Right now, I am using the Mevo Start connected via Ethernet using the Power over Ethernet adapter, and I am then broadcasting NDI using HEVC to my MacBook, and I'm using OBS to put all of our scenes together. We are using Skype for the Skype NDI tool to bring each other both on screen. And yeah, for audio, I'm using the blue baby bottle microphone connected to the M Audio mixer, which is then going back out into my Start using a 3.5 millimeter TRS cable. How's your setup today?
Yeah, so pretty similar to yours. So I'm coming into a Mevo Start, and I'm going audio-wise. I'm going from the Bluebird microphone that we normally see. That's going to my mixer. That mixer is coming out of the 3.5 millimeter output into my Mevo Start. I'm connecting the Mevo Start to my computer via wireless webcam, and that is being sent through the Skype channel that we have, which is now NDI straight back to you.
Very, very cool.
Pretty simple.
All right. We were just talking about how in chat everybody's starting to get to know each other, and it's really interesting because it goes, across platforms. So we have people just like having conversations back and forth from Facebook to YouTube to Twitch. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome, and I can even see like Jay and Facebook saying hi to Fred, Jason, and Jack. So, obviously we have our regulars, let's say, which is what we're looking for, especially when we're doing things like the giveaway.
Yeah, definitely. Our last giveaway, our winner was Fred, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
Fred the Hippo. He usually comments on YouTube. So if for those of you watching on YouTube, you should see him popping in, now
Nice.
and then.
Lots of regulars. All right, well, let's jump into chat. Scroll down a bit past all the hellos. All right. John Roberts says, would love to see attendance numbers with the giveaway. We average around, I think, a max of 50 or so viewers per show. But
yeah, usually depending on what you're counting over, right. Sometimes it's a little bit more.
Ben Beckner says, I have a question regarding HEVC. Are there any best practices for that feature anytime I should use it or not use it? So HEVC is really great. I'm using it right now. It's nice to obviously use less bandwidth on your network. Most networks are pretty okay with the typical NDI, but the only reason that you would want to not use it is if the program that you're specifically using or the website that you're streaming to doesn't support HEVC. There aren't a lot. Most websites and programs do, but there are definitely some where you'll run into that. And it's the same with some NDI apps as well. But generally,
absolutely,
generally it's great. I recommend it as much as you can. The other great thing about NDI, which I really like, is I use multiple different computers, and so if I have one Mevo, I can have the NDI connected on all of my different computers, so I can use the same Mevo mic for all of them, which is very nice.
Yeah, that's a huge plus, especially when it comes to audio inputs. That's a good point. A lot of times with the Mevo, we think just video, but NDI is great for audio as well.
Yeah. That's how I use this Bluebird microphone if I'm like doing a call on one computer or I need to switch to Discord on another computer. instead of like rerouting everything, I can just use NDI and keep them all connected at the same time.
Nice. And then you just use the Mevo as the input. Yeah, that's awesome. Ben's actually, Ben followed up with that. It said, does it only matter if you're using NDI or does it matter otherwise? So when you're talking about the HEVC switch under NDI mode, that's specifically for NDI mode, but you can also change your recording format as well to HEVC. So recording to the SD card can be in HEVC as well.
Yeah, Multicam also runs off of HEVC, and so does wireless webcam most of the time as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, Leo says, have you thought about adding time-lapse mode with the Mevo Start 6-hour battery? It could be really cool recording the whole 6 hours. That would be really cool. I'm not sure if it's something that our developers have considered before, but I would love to see that. I've definitely seen a few tickets and posts in our social channels about wanting that kind of thing. So yeah, that would be really cool. We'll definitely bring it up to the team.
Absolutely.
Max says, Max ABS. Can you use the Mevo multicam and output NDI from each camera at the same time? Unfortunately, you can't. So NDI has to be disabled for the Mevos to even be connected to multicam. So unfortunately, no. Anne says, saw the ad, want to dig in more. Yeah, we've got social ads going all the time, and we've got some really cool demos, I think, that the marketing team shows on them. So if you have any questions at all, here is a really good time to ask. Maybe you'll win a free Amiibo. Who knows? David says...
David.
Go for it.
Yeah. I'll take this one. So on Tuesday, yeah, I did mention Joe was going to be here today. I'm actually filling in for him today. He wasn't able to make it on today's show. So sorry, David. You got me again. Apologize. Reiterate what the RTMP question was again, though, because we also have Will, and Will is just aces when it comes to stuff like that as well. So feel free to throw it back in and refresh us on what the question was itself. So John is saying, I would love to see if we could use the Mevo for some more normal photo operations, like panoramic shots, time lapse. Yeah, I mean, I think those are great ideas. Those are great features. Those are pretty readily available on most mobile phones nowadays, though, too. So, that's definitely something we can bring up.
Yeah, definitely. Charlie says, so are you saying using NDI, I could have one live stream on YouTube and another computer have live stream to Facebook? Yeah, you definitely could. There is possible issue with kind of pixelation if you don't have the network speed to split it like that, but you can definitely technically do that where you have one computer that's streaming to one destination and another to another destination. Definitely doable. Dennis says, when I use the multicam app, 2 starts and a plus, I experience slow internet when I stream 1080p, even with Ethernet connection. So it could be a couple things. Obviously, internal network bandwidth is an issue with a lot of people that do multicam, especially with 3 cameras. So you want to make sure that the Wi-Fi that you're using is strong enough to have all 3 cameras. You can also try lowering the camera input resolution and increasing the latency to high to kind of reduce that load. And then I would adjust the stream resolution between 1080 and 720, maybe even lower. But yeah, I would check internal network bandwidth first. Jared Wheeler says Mac OS OBS doesn't like HEVC. So I'm actually using HEVC and Mac OS right now, and as well as OBS actually. So all 3, and it should be working well. You probably want to make sure that your NDI tools are completely up to date. HEVC didn't work for Mac for a little bit, but it is working now. So John says, when will NDI be added to multicam? That's a great question. We're all really excited for more features coming to multicam, and so hopefully we'll see that very soon. Jared Wheeler says, Joe for Joe, we forgive you. They're both great.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Jared.
Jose says, troubleshooting frozen image on Wirecast. Connected NDI through PoE adapters. Bandwidth is good. Factory reset, same results. Connected to a different network, same results. Any suggestions? It sounds like the common denominator here is Wirecast. I don't know if that is the most current version of Wirecast, but definitely make sure that you're fully up to date there. And then I don't use Wirecast personally, so I can't tell you whether or not they have any outstanding issues with NDI 5, but that's definitely something to look into. But that seems to be your common denominator.
Yeah, I mean, and with situations like that too, like if you know everything else is good and all your connections are good, restart your computer. Yeah. See what happens. Sometimes that, I mean, literally that happened to me 5 minutes ago. So, where like things were freezing on me a little bit, and I hadn't restarted my computer in a while. I gave it a little restart, and everything is all is well now. So, it's one of those little things that we kind of maybe forget to do.
Yeah. Restarting never hurts. John Roberts says webcam mode and recording doesn't work together. Can you still record with NDI mode? Recording locally, so recording onto the SD card. So you cannot record onto the SD card using wired webcam mode or wireless webcam mode, but you can in NDI mode. You will get a pop-up that says that you can't stream in NDI mode, but if you press cancel, then you'll be able to select the SD card in the Mevo 2.0 app. Jared says...
Yeah, he clarifies. Yeah, go ahead.
Jared says, I have had to get a new stream key in order to have the temp show up. Otherwise, it shows that I'm live, but I can't find the stream anywhere.
Well, let's see. Where are you streaming to? Talking about Facebook, or are you talking about YouTube? If you're, let's say you're doing YouTube and the stream is unlisted, and you didn't and you have it for auto start, and you didn't go into your YouTube studio on your computer, then you need to go into your your channel, content channel, and you'll see the video there. Facebook, if it's unlisted or private, where does it show up? Like, I think you can see it in your, in your live setting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just got to go into like your own video libraries to see anything that's unlisted or private. So it may be there.
All right. Leo says, when using the Mevo as a webcam for Zoom, I don't see how to record to the SD card. So, can I record the whole meeting on Zoom, but I want to record both the meeting and my feed for editing? So yeah, this was kind of covered a second ago, but you can use NDI to connect your Mevo to Zoom and record onto the SD card.
Yep.
Right. David says, at 2:07, you guys froze on Facebook, and again when answering my question. Just bad timing, I guess. I don't know. On Tuesday, Joe froze up. I was just participating on Facebook. What causes this? Typically, if your stream is freezing and it's not freezing for other people, then it is your internet connection. I don't know if you're watching on your computer or on a mobile device, but it sounds like your internet is maybe not super stable, and I would try lowering your resolution. Cool. Okay. John Roberts says, is NDI output one too many? One Mevo that can pick up 2 LAN PCs. I'm not sure what you mean.
Yeah, you got the. Can you maybe expand on that a little bit, John? I'm not sure what you mean on that one either. The one above that, coming in. Let us know where you're from too, because this one I believe is coming from is Spanish here. Let's see if it says, how can I transmit my camera at 1080 without having to pay anything? You don't have to pay anything for 1080, so there's no subscription needed. The only thing you would need any type of subscription for would be if you want to stream to multiple destinations, to which you could use Vimeo, Restream, and I'm sure there's other restreaming services as well. Generally, those cost something. But as far as 1080 streaming to one destination, you can absolutely do that for free.
Yep. Right. Jared Wheeler says, Will, I'm running Mac OS Monterey, so it's broken there. I have Monterey on my Mac Mini, and it seems to be not broken. But if you're having, issues with your setup, definitely open up a ticket, and we can help you one-on-one. But yeah, I have Monterey.
Yeah.
I'm using, I think, beta 7 or 8, but yeah, it seems to be working pretty well. Jack says, is there a way that I can put multicam on an external display? Lots of people are wanting to do this. Unfortunately, right now, there is no real way to do that. You can technically set up an RTMP server and stream to that, but you'll run into a few issues like delay and stuff like that. So unfortunately, not really.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Let's see.
All right, so Devonte Live says, can you do a multicam Mevo live stream over LTE 5G via cell phone? So Devonte, yes, you absolutely can. Things you want to look out here is make sure that your speeds are sufficient. We recommend at least a 10 megabyte upload speed, especially if you're going to be using LTE. But it should absolutely possible, so you can 100% do it. Cool. And let's see what else we got here. A lot of replying.
Jose is following up on his NDI issue, saying restarting the computer won't solve the issue. Yeah, it sounds to me like Wirecast is, for whatever reason, giving you issues. I would definitely reach out to them, and hopefully they can kind of give you a lowdown on any issues that are outstanding regarding NDI.
Yeah, and you can always test too, as far as equipment is concerned. Try Zoom, try Google Meets, pop open OBS, make sure the feed is coming in there. If you can see the NDI feed on all those other platforms and just not Wirecast, I mean, that really narrows it down.
Yeah. Let's see, replies. Devonte says, is it possible to bring in multicams onto Restream or StreamYard to speak with guests? No.
No.
There's no way to connect multicam to the computer at this time. Let's see. Charlie says it did not freeze today at all. So yeah, it sounds like, I can't remember who it was who was saying that they were seeing freezing.
Maybe it was Dennis.
Yeah, so I would check your internet connection or just lower your stream resolution. Jack says, how are you guys able to stream together if you're not actually together?
It's a great question.
It's a great question. We've got a good setup right now. We've gone through lots and lots of iterations of trying to get this to work really well because, we had, like so many other people, we had to switch to remote work. And so we went through OBS Ninja, we looked around at Zoom, and we found the best solution to be Skype. Skype, you can output the each person's video through NDI, and then you can bring that into OBS, just like as a regular NDI source, just like you would with the Mevo. And yeah, it works really well.
Yeah, we've had surprisingly good results with Skype, and we mentioned this a couple of times, but it's just something that Skype's had for a while apparently. Like they've been on the NDI train for some time, and it's awesome. It works great.
Yeah, a big problem with Zoom is that, I don't think Zoom has NDI out, but a bigger problem is that Zoom reduces the resolution. So if you're using the Mevo at 1080p, Zoom is always going to be 720, which is not what we wanted.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So Jose says, any way we can add date timestamps embedded to the recordings, or maybe as a graphic option? Timestamps, I've gotten this question before. It's not something we have available right now. You'd have to do it manually. But the recordings are timestamped. So if you're pulling recordings out and bringing them onto a computer, everything should be timestamped there. But as far as like having like a scrolling time on the screen or being able to like sync things up, that's not available at this time.
Yeah.
All right, your PA, howdy from Twitch chat. All right, yeah, thanks for the reminder. If you guys are watching, remember we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you're watching on Twitch or if you're a part of Twitch, the community at Mevo Camera is the place to be. All right, a lot of replies going on. Oh, this is a great question for you, Will. So Jason says, following up with the access point from the last live show, can I run an access point with 3 Mevo recording in the absence of internet connectivity? So in other words, just for recording purposes only, we're not streaming. Can we still use like that Orbi setup like you had at the ballpark?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could use an access point. Like if you wanted to get more range, then access point would be the good way to go. But you can also use the Mevo's AP mode to do the exact same thing, where one of the Meevos is broadcasting in hotspot mode, and then your other Meevos as well as your control device is connected to that Mevo, and that would do an easier way of setting up a multicam network on the go. But you can definitely use an access point as well, and you don't need internet connectivity. So you could do that with like an iPad that doesn't have cellular if you wanted to.
Awesome. So would using an access point, would that increase the range that you can have the Meevos, if let's say you're doing sports or something like that in the field?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the access point that you are using, but yeah, it can usually give you much further range than you can get with your Meevos alone.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, so John Roberts is coming in. He's saying, if the Mevo is set to broadcast through NDI, can multiple devices connect to that output? So I could run machines on the same LAN, both picking up the same NDI stream and sending to different streams. I'm going to have to unpack this one a little bit. If the Mevo is set to broadcast through NDI, can multiple devices use it? So so this is essentially what you were saying before. Yeah, absolutely. Just make sure that you have, the internet stability to handle streaming from multiple different devices using your LAN connection.
Yeah, the more devices that you have connected to the Mevo's NDI and the more actually using the output from the Mevo, the more unstable it'll get. So it's just something to watch out for.
Nice.
Ben Beckner says, on an iPad or iPhone, you can mirror the screen to another AirPlay device. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. The downside of mirroring your display is the resolution is considerably worse. But if that's something that, is not a big factor in your setup, then yeah, it's definitely a good option.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no monitor out for AirPlay, which would be pretty cool too, just to send the full resolution feed out. But unfortunately, that's not the case right now.
Yeah, that would be awesome though, for sure.
All right. Jose says thanks. Chris from Boston says, I just want to say thank you guys for all your hard work and creating such a great product. Awesome. Hey, thanks for joining us, Chris. But thanks for being part of our team. I'll be using the multicam setup on broadcasting a 9-piece band at our local festival. I'll make sure to tag Mevo Camera. Absolutely do it. I would love to see that. So a 9-piece band, 3 cam. That's awesome. You could probably get some decent angles, decent performance there. That'll be exciting.
I saw, I think it was Ben Beckner was doing multicam setup of a parade, which was really cool. He had like one on each side of the street.
Oh, that's cool. And you can just bounce between the angles and stuff and see everything. That's really cool.
Yeah.
See, that's a great use case scenario for the multicam. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Your PA from Twitch says, is the Mevo NDI stack using NDI 5 yet?
Yes, the Mevo is fully NDI 5 supported.
Yes, and actually we just did an update on the Mevo app to 2.7, which fixed some of the NDI compatibility issues. So that went out, I think it was 2 weeks ago now. So if you haven't updated, make sure you update. All right. Gordon saying, really hope we can get Mevo 2.0 features in the Mevo multicam soon. Me too, absolutely. It's something we talk about pretty frequently, is moving those features over. Jarrett and Dennis are having their own side combo. Awesome. Kelsey says, does Skype enable the chat setting? So no, the chat setting you're seeing here is actually coming from Restream. Thanks for that question, Kelsey. All right. All right, here's a long one. It's coming your way, Will. So Jim on Facebook, he's saying, for softball games, I connect my Mevo 5G Mifi device, leave the Mifi near the Mevo camera. When my phone opens up the Mevo software, broadcast the game via the team manager. My question is, if I sit 45 feet away from the backstop, will I drop the stream? Great coverage in this area. Probably not. No. You want your camera and your connections just to be within 100 feet from your access point. So if your access point is your Mifi, then that should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that I would test. 45 feet is pretty far, but if your Mifi is a really good one, then yeah. I mean, as long as you have the coverage from your Wi-Fi device, then it will work. So it will work up to 100 feet. But yeah, I would test your specific Mifi device to see how far you can go.
Yeah, absolutely. Max ABS saying, are you planning on making webcam out for the Multicam app? That would be cool.
That would be very cool. I would love that.
That would be very cool. Yeah, I mean, that's something that's definitely, I think that's definitely on the list of things that we've on the request list. So hopefully that'll come sooner than later. Oh. All right. Leo says, your Skype show is amazing. I don't notice any delay between locations. Which one of you is actually sending the entire program? Okay, so Will, they want to get into the nitty gritty now.
Yeah, so I am the one sending the program out. So it's interesting because it seems like a fairly complex thing, but it's really not. Skype has that NDI out that we were talking about, and so I can just bring it into OBS and just arrange everything so it's nice and orderly. And then the chat is actually a HTML embed from the Restream app, so you can pick it up on the website restream.io, and then you can just embed that into OBS. So it's actually really pretty simple, and we have very basic internet connections. You know, we don't have like Joe has a Verizon Fios line, and so he's got like 1,000 upload speed, and I think both Joe and Joseph and I have both, I think, like what, 35 up or something like that. So nothing crazy.
Yeah, I think my max that I'm allowed to have is 35 up. So that's the absolute max upload speed I can have. So to put that in perspective, I do have everything wired through Ethernet. I do have a PoE switch going to my Meevos, but I also have run through OBS. I mean, at any given time, 6 Meevos for a stream, and had complete success with it. So, yeah, that's the setup. It's like you said, it's simpler than you think.
Yeah. It never hurts to have everything hardwired. Like, I've got my computer connected to Ethernet. My Mevo is connected to Ethernet. So that's always good. Keep that stability. So yeah, not as complex as you would think. All right, let's see.
All right, cool. Jason's chiming in and saying the cellular data is not necessarily the holdup for connection between cameras if it blacks out for a few seconds. No, it's not. You're right. It's not necessarily your cellular connection if you're using like LTE. It could be something else for sure. It's just the first place you want to check, in my opinion. You know, that's the starting point, and also the root of more problems than you think. So, Jose saying, better to connect to Mevo, is it 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz? What's the difference between those? So 5 gigahertz, you're going to get a faster connection, stronger connection at shorter distances. Other than, I'm pretty sure Mevo loves 5 gigahertz. Am I wrong on that, Will?
No, not at all. 5 gigahertz is definitely preferred, but it also depends on your setup. So if you have like lots of devices that use the 5 gigahertz spectrum, then 2.4 is going to be better. But typically 5 gigahertz is much better than 2.4.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. Brenda's saying hi from Glasgow.
Nice.
I feel I should know this. When using PoE, my app settings should be Mevo hotspot, right? Correct. And this is this does get confused a lot, especially when you use the word hotspot and people are using different versions of what that means. So when you put Mevo in hotspot mode and then you plug in Ethernet connection, you'll actually notice inside the app that'll change, and it'll actually say hotspot and Ethernet. So as long as you're seeing the word Ethernet on your connection and you're seeing those connection icons, then you are good to go. You are connected through Ethernet. But yes, you are correct in what you were wondering. Let's see. John Robertson, guessing the HEVC compression becomes important with multiple NDI streams. It absolutely does. You know, I mean, think regular NDI, if you're streaming at 1080p at 15 megabytes per second, on HEVC, you can do that 7.5 megabytes per second. So it's definitely less strain on the overall stream itself and on your bit rates. Cool. Jose says, I work in a legal field. All of our videos have to have date and timestamp watermark video. Anyway, we can talk to engineers and see if that's something we can do with the Mevo. I mean, we can mention it to them. I know this has been mentioned before. If that's a requirement of your, you know, position, that's, you know, you may need to use something else, or you can do another workaround as far as just like having a slate or a clock in frame while you're shooting. That'll kind of alleviate timestamps as well. That's an old movie trick, though. If you don't know what time it is, you put a clock in the frame.
That's pretty solid. I like that.
Yeah. Jack saying, where's Fred today? Jack, that's a great question. I wish I had an answer for that. I don't know where Fred is today, and I'm hoping he is well.
He got his Mevo, and then he's left us. Hopefully he'll be back.
He's probably using it.
Yeah, there you go. Jim says, any 4K cameras coming out? We don't have anything in our timeline right now, but we're always looking to improve.
Yeah, and this is a question we get a lot too, is why wasn't the Start 4K when the Plus was? And generally, really, I mean, at the time when the Start came out, I think streaming in 1080 wasn't even as popular. You know, it was people were still streaming in 720. Even today on Facebook it's 720. Zoom is 720. So the common more common platforms other than like YouTube, I guess, really aren't streaming in 4K that much either.
Yeah, and you also have to think about your audience, right? If you're streaming at 4K, you know, a lot of people have issues just watching in 1080p, and so if your viewers are going to all watch it in 720 or lower, then, you know, there's no point in streaming in 4K. So instead of, you know, increasing the price of the camera and having a shorter battery life and potentially having heat issues,
more memory.
We went with 1080, more memory. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So your PA on Twitch says 2.4 more powerful, meaning it can penetrate but can't sustain the higher speeds as 5 gigahertz can. Yeah, essentially. So when you have internet service provider's router, right? There's generally two options. There's your 2 gigahertz and your 5 gigahertz. Your 5 gigahertz is probably going to be able to have much faster speeds, but within maybe 20 to 30 feet from the router, whereas 2.4 gigahertz will reach a lot further. It just won't be as fast. That's really like the trade-off. So it's just a matter of what's, you know, what do you need? Do you need distance? Do you need speed? Okay. Jared is asking, any more development on media? Can we do transitions for full screen to corner bug? Transition to, I see what you mean. This is something I actually was speaking with the product manager for Multicam recently, is how to create, you know, how to do stuff like that, how to have individual graphics connected to scenes, have easier transitions between the two. That's definitely something that they're going to look into for sure. I think folders, like graphic folders, was coming up too, that a lot of people ask for. So cool. Your PA on Twitch says it's because, let's see here. Both Will and Joseph are both in Gamer House. We do look like we have pretty sweet gaming setups, right?
Yeah, which is funny because I don't really play many video games.
Yeah,
and the ones that I do are usually VR.
Yeah, I think Joe's setup is actually cool with the game when you with the computer on the back of the wall.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen Joe Mevo's setup, it's pretty awesome. All right, what do you say we take a break and we talk about some things that are going on?
Yeah, let's see. So let's talk about our shows. Here we go. We've got these Mevo live shows twice a week. They are both at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Tuesday, we've got Ask Mevo Anything. And this is one of us just answering your questions the entire show, similar to what we're doing right now. But it's just geared more towards all of your questions. On Thursdays, we do questions as well, but we also try and talk about a specific topic that is about the Mevo or related to the Mevo. We've got some really cool demos that we like to show. I don't know if you saw last week, but Joe demoed how to use a joystick with NDI Studio Monitor, which is really, really cool. A big fan of that. Hopefully we'll do more and more demos like that, showing some really cool product integrations with Mevo. We also have a referral program, which is extremely popular with the Mevo. We have lots of people telling us that they tell all of their friends and family about the Mevo that they're using. You know, it's a unique design, and so when people see it, they typically ask questions about it. So the referral program is where you refer someone to purchase a Mevo at mevo.com, and then you will save them 5%, and you will earn 5% commission on their purchase. So you can make a little extra money by spreading the Mevo love, letting everybody know all about your Mevo and that they should get one as well. And the cool thing about this is that you can customize your referral code so that it is, you know, the name of your team, your business, your stream name, your handle, anything like that. So you can really personalize it and kind of make it your own. Cool.
All right. Nice. So let's get back into it. Nick from YouTube is saying, is it best practice to use the original Mevo app for one Mevo start and stick with using Multicam app for multiple Mevo starts, or use Multicam app for all cases? So it depends on what you want to do. Generally, the Multicam app can do pretty much everything the Mevo app can do, with the exception of the audio adjustments. But all the camera adjustments, all the zooming and everything that you can use on the Multicam app. If you're using anything with overlays, as far as like the countdown, that can only be done in 2.0, whereas the Multicam app doesn't have that just yet. So it's really just use case scenario. You can use whichever app works best for you. No need to like stick to one or the other. And then as far as combining the apps, I mean, essentially that's what we've been trying to do is, you know, find ways where you can do everything you can do in Mevo 2.0, but just do it with 3 cameras, right? But obviously there's a lot to that, so that's a work in progress for sure. All right. And Jim's saying, for a 3-camera setup, how far can the other 2 cameras be from my 5G Mifi device? So again, this depends on the strength of the device. We generally say the Meevos need to be within 100 feet from the access point that's providing them internet. Now, a 5G Mifi device may or may not get that, depending on how well the service, how strong of a service signal they have. So that you're just gonna have to test. What I would do is just hook up your Meevos and walk away from the device and see when they start, you know, jittering or something like that. So, because it's too hard to say depending on the area. Joe Mevo is watching the show today, Will.
Thanks for joining us, Joe.
Yeah.
I hope you're having a good time at the wedding.
He's asking about the spinning wheel. It's coming. It's coming. So what Joe's mentioning here is we are doing a giveaway today. We're going to spin the wheel, and we are going to offer a Mevo start to the winner of the contest. Do we have the contest slide? We should probably talk about that.
I don't have it up now.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me open up my Mevo 2.0 app, and I can do it on a full screen real quick.
Nice.
And here we go. Let me know when you got it.
Good.
Nice. Awesome. So Mevo Live. So what we're doing is a Mevo Start giveaway. And the enter is just random drawings from our live show participation. So all of you guys participating in the chats right now, we definitely see you, we definitely recognize you, and we're going to add your names to the list. So this drawing today will be from the past 4 weeks, and we're just basing off the people who participated the most. And here's some of the rules. We do it bi-weekly, so we do it every 2 weeks. And you can win more than once, but not in the same month. So for example, this drawing today, Fred the Hippo is not able to win. So we've taken his name off the wheel, but he will be added on again, I'm sure. And that's really it. So in order to participate, all you need to do is just participate in the shows live when we do them.
Yeah, we're minutes away from the giveaway, so stay tuned. It's always really exciting.
Yeah, that's our closer, guys. That's our closer. Okay. Let's see how the Twitch highlight looks on Restream chat. Okay. Jared's coming in that says, wire all things, dire situation, use Wi-Fi. I mean, we can absolutely use Wi-Fi. I don't want to put it as that dire, but I do agree. If you are able to wire your connections, please wire them, because it just eliminates the possibility of any type of wireless interference.
Let's see. David says, I can see that Mevo camera image can be flipped for times that one would mount the camera from the ceiling in an upside down suspended placement. Can it be turned 25% for mounting straight out from a wall? I guess another option for mounting would be a ball pivot mount that could be coming straight from the side of the wall. Yeah, so you can't turn the camera 25%, but you can certainly, the problem is, you can put it sideways, but then your image sideways. You can't adjust that. So yeah, if it's coming from a wall, I would use a wall mount and just have it vertically placed. But they're on Amazon for, I don't know, like $20 or something like that. They're not very expensive.
Yeah, I mean, if you want something a little bit more intricate, we have the Mevo table stand has 2 arms on it that has ball mounts, which basically you can put the Mevo in any position. You know what I mean? So it can be 360 degrees depending on what your angles are, and those are really useful.
Yeah.
Cool. Ron's coming in. He has a suggestion. Mevo suggestion: using Mevos at a wedding. Of course, 2 fixed positions are great, but 1 mobile unit would be really helpful. Maybe you could design a holder for one Mevo and the second iPad monitor. Yeah, I mean, this is something, Ron. I mean, you're definitely not the first person to come up with that. We actually have seen a lot of people use the Mevos handheld. We've seen people use the Mevos on gimbals, which actually work pretty cool. So this way you got a nice steady shot. The Mevos have an adapter that fits most mounts, mic stands, and tripod adapters, so you can pretty much hook that up to anything. So, instead of us taking the time to build one, they're out there. They exist. People use them. Cool. Okay.
How to connect the Mevo with HDMI. This is maybe one of the most popular questions that we get asked, because so many people want to use it with their video switchers. Unfortunately, the Mevo does not have a video out, so it cannot be used as an HDMI input. So USB-C to HDMI adapters will not work. There is a solution for using an NDI to HDMI decoder, but the problem is those are pretty expensive. They're probably, I think, about $400 at the minimum, so it may not be worth it, but that's one option. The other option is to connect your Mevo to a computer and then output that video from the computer.
Yeah, and we've even tested that HDMI converter, and it actually didn't even work that good.
Yeah.
So it's just like the speed of it didn't keep up with the speed. So okay, so we're talking on Twitch. There's a conversation going about the highlighted messages. Yes, I did see that. The highlighted messages do not show up on the Restream chat. That would be pretty cool, to make stand out a bit. But they transfer just to text only, and that's good enough for us. Okay, some side combos here. Okay, this is a great question from Vince. I've seen other streams have comments from other platforms showing up in their YouTube chat using Restream. How is this done? So if you are using Restream the same way we are right now, Restream has a secondary client that you can use called Restream Chat. It's an actual app that you download on your computer, and then that will allow you to view the chat like this. And then from there, you can embed this view into your OBS stream or whatever stream you're using. Lost my spot.
Let's see. Loads of us wishing for more 2.0 features ported to the other apps or combined. Yeah, you know, there aren't that many features in the Mevo 2.0 app that haven't been moved over to the Multicam app, and there's certainly features in the Multicam app that are not in the 2.0 app.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely, you know, we want to combine as many features as possible. But yeah, it takes time. Multicam is a fairly new app when you consider it. I think it came out of beta just, you know, this summer.
Yeah, like I don't remember. Yeah. Was it May?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's funny because like with technology, it's, you know, you work hard to get things and then you get them and then now you have them and now they're old.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Now it's like, what's next? Yeah, immediately. Yeah. So your PA on Twitter saying, how many total apps are there for the Mevo Start? I know a multicam and microphone app. So there's 4. There is the Mevo 2.0 app, which is generally considered the single cam app. You have the multicam app, which you mentioned, the mic app, which you mentioned, and then the webcam app. So the webcam app will allow you to connect wirelessly or wired to your computer. And then that's it. NDI is not an app. NDI is a feature. So that would be it. Definitely lost my spot again.
We need a 4K camera with a zoom lens. It's a good feature request, for sure.
Yeah, and honestly, keep saying that because that's stuff that, like, you know, obviously a whole new camera, it would be great, but you know, that stuff takes time. So whatever features you guys want to see, make sure you're telling us now. You know what I mean? So it gives us time to, well, make it.
Right. It's a long process.
Yes, it is. All right, cool. And John's chiming in. He says, I think you can combine chats and OBS from YouTube and Twitch as well. Yes, absolutely. If you're in OBS and you have your, or even Streamlabs, I think there's a couple ways you can do it, right? So if you have your accounts linked where you're not using RTMP, you're just going straight to the accounts, the chats will link that way. And I think there's also some extra some plugins you can download separately if you're not using it that way to bring chats in as well. All right, Dre is king.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you need an SD card for all 3 to record the footage. So, yeah, if you need all 3 to record simultaneously, then you need to do ISO recording, which requires an SD card for each camera. You can also use the Multicam app to record directly to your phone or tablet that you're using with the Multicam app. But yeah, if you need all 3 to be recording simultaneously, then each one does need their own SD card.
Awesome. So Clark said last week we saw a demo of the Logitech Extreme 3D with several Mevo cameras. How is that joystick set up? So that was done by Joe Mevo, and he did that through using NDI, right? He was connecting the joystick via NDI, and he was able to zoom in and pan on the Mevo, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, NDI Studio Monitor lets you connect joysticks. You can do like a little game controller also. So it's just kind of a fun way to do it. It's a little bit smoother than controlling it with like a keyboard.
Yep. Tony coming in. Question, is it possible to link the Mevo cameras to Ecamp? Yes, absolutely. So in Ecamp, you can take in wireless webcam, regular webcam, and NDI inputs. So the Mevo can do all 3 of those. All right. Did I hear a drawing? The drawings haven't been done yet, Brad. We are about to get to them soon. We want to close out some of these questions, and then I think that we're going to be doing that next, right, Will?
Yep, sounds good. Let's finish these. Jose says, is there a chance in the future to be able to add URL links from websites as graphic on the Mevo recording? So you can definitely add URL links, but the problem is they will not be active, I guess. The problem is that you would need that to be done on the viewing client side. That couldn't be done as part of the stream or recording.
Cool.
Let's see.
Gordon is asking what kind of lighting you're using. Okay, so right now I have just some LED, cheap LED accent lights. I have a ring light in front of me right here, and then the rest of the light you're seeing from me is actually probably coming off most of my monitors. So that's really it for me. Not too much going on with the lighting.
Yeah, I'm using 3 main lights. I'm using a ring light and then 2 Philips Hue lights. And then my colored bulbs are Philips Hue as well. That's how we get that cool gamer look.
Nice.
Let's see.
Hey, Fred the Hippo's back. Fred is late to the
Nice.
party. Late to the party. That's okay. Everyone's happy that he's here.
Fred is a celebrity. Love it. Brad Wilson says, why do I feel like we're going to hear stories about drones crashing with their Mevo attached? That would be cool. I would love to have a drone connected to a Mevo. I'm sure that there are drones that are good enough to do it, but that's not what I've seen so far. But I'd love to.
Yeah,
Let's see.
that'd be interesting for sure.
Joe Mevo jumping in chat saying, Will and Joseph, what do you think about this? Blue microphone via USB-C? Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so Joe is very subtly pointing out that we've got a new article demoing how to connect a blue Yeti Nano or a regular blue Yeti microphone via USB-C to the Mevo Start. And actually, great graphic.
Yeah, and I think he's pointing that out just because if you haven't heard, we do have a little contest going on from our marketing team where if you do a program or any type of content using the Mevo, hashtag made by Mevo, and they're doing a giveaway where you can actually win a blue microphone.
Nice.
And I'm trying to see if I can find out exactly which mic it is. I believe it's the Yeti Caster, which is awesome. So we're just giving away all kinds of things. That's what we do here.
It's a good way to do it.
All right. Let's turn it up.
Speed round.
Let's get to this giveaway.
All right. Jason Hoffman says in Mevo Hotspot is the connection between camera, phone, tablet negotiable in 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. It is not. I believe the Mevo only broadcasts 5 gigahertz. Check streaming. Yeah. Scroll. Another question: can I change the size of overlays or lower thirds, etc.? So you can do custom overlays, full screen overlays, and that way you can have your graphics be any size that you want. They can just be PNG graphics, so most of it is transparent, and then you just have a tiny lower third at whatever size you want in the corner. Let's see.
John's saying optical zoom would totally rock. I agree. Yeah. That's a whole lens replacement though, so that's a pretty big overhaul. Consider editing YouTube show with chapter markers. I think some of them do. That's a big overhaul too.
Yeah.
Okay, so your PA is saying maybe for streamers who do these real life streams mobilely, I guess they're referencing, having a backpack setup, extra battery. Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. I mean, you can absolutely, if you're running into battery issues with the Mevo Start has an up to 6-hour battery life. You can use portable chargers to charge your Mevo to get even longer than that. I mean, if you're streaming or recording for more than that, that's awesome. What are you doing though? Right? Would there be support for green screen in future updates?
That would be really cool.
That would be cool. Green screen is something you can definitely use the Meevo camera for if you're doing green screen in a broadcasting software, but native in any of the apps. There's no type of chroma key functions or anything like that. Let's see.
Jim says, if Joe is on here, any chance I can pick up 2 more cameras for the price of a 3-pack? I have tested 1 camera for 6 months now and love it. So unfortunately, no. There are no deals or discounts going on right now for the Mevo cameras, but you can, if you can find the 3-pack available at one of the resellers, you could purchase that and maybe give the other Mevo away to somebody. That'd be cool. Jared Wheeler says blue mics are some of the best. Absolutely, they are all really, really amazing. Let's see.
Jared is asking, any chance that we can hit direct HTML graphics for the media aspect? That would be awesome to reference online video. Direct HTML graphics? I mean, I don't know. Will, do you have thoughts on that? I feel like that's more complicated than just using a PNG.
Yeah, that would certainly be really cool. Like, you know, our chat right now is a HTML graphic, but it's unlikely that that'll show up in the apps anytime soon.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm currently using. So this will be the last one before we kick off the survey. We got about 4 minutes left. I currently use a 400 gigabyte micro SD card. Can I use a bigger card? I've seen the SanDisk 512s kind of work, but I wouldn't go over 400. We sometimes get people that have off-brand 1 terabyte cards, and I can almost say 100% of the time they don't work.
Yeah, 100% of the time.
Yeah, so 400
ruin your footage.
Yeah, so stick with the 400. You know, and just make sure it's class 10, which if it's 400 gigs, it definitely should be. And if you run into any issues, you know, with memory cards, people access all the time. Go with name brands. Go with brands you know. SanDisk, Samsung. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's it. I think we made it.
Let's do it. Wheel time.
Get to business.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, we got the October theme wheel today.
This is what we're here for, man. All about it. All right.
All right, so let's see who's going to win the next Mevo start.
That is fast.
Oh, Jim saying is SanDisk 400 class 10. Yeah, I mean, that's the card to have for sure.
Christopher Wills. Congratulations.
Wills. Congratulations. We need music on this thing.
Yeah, we do. All right, Christopher, congratulations on the win. And be sure to reach out to us. Go to help.mevo.com and open up a ticket so you can send us your info and we can get you free Mevo. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Any friends or family of Chris, tag him in the chat. Make sure he knows if he's not here today.
All right. Well, don't forget, everybody has a chance to win a free Mevo every couple of weeks. We do this. So be sure to watch all of the shows and chat as much as you can to win that free Mevo. Let's go through real quick all of our shows so you don't miss any. So we've got shows Tuesday and Thursday. Both shows are 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook at /Mevo Camera. All of the episodes are available on YouTube after they go live. So if you missed anything, you can always check the pre-recorded video, or the, not pre-recorded, post-recorded video, and see what you missed. So don't miss the shows. I believe next Tuesday is going to be, I want to say Joe, or it could be me. I'm actually not sure. But don't miss that show. It's going to be great, I'm sure. And as always, we've got our referral program that we want to mention. If you refer somebody to purchase a Mevo on Mevo.com, then you will save them 5% and you will earn 5% commission. That means that you make some money off telling people to go purchase a Mevo. So that's a great deal. You can check that out, Mevo.com/referral. And of course, you can go to help.mevo.com. If any of your questions were not answered here live, we have a huge help section that talks about everything Mevo related, tips and tricks and tutorials and everything. And if you can't find your answer there, open up a ticket and one of us will help you one-on-one. That's help.mevo.com. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Again, we'll be live again on Tuesday, and we hope to see you all there.
All right. Take care.